See if we can get some people in here. I got stuff everywhere. Probably not going to be on long today, but I wanted to stop in and hang out with you guys for a little while, even though I don't have a whole lot of time. Show you guys a couple things I've been working on. I got a new tripod that is freaking awesome, by the way. I made a video yesterday, but I got to put it together and post it. Because it was $32, man. Talk about inexpensive. But this thing is professional. Like, I have a really nice Canon 80D camera. And it holds that thing so nice. You don't even have to, like, cinch the handle down. You just kind of loosen it just enough to where it'll move. And it'll move up and down, but it'll still hold it without having to tighten it back up. My other one was a piece of crap. And this sucker is nice. Of course, I did get a better attachment for the top, which I've had for years and just never used. But the actual tripod and what it comes with is awesome for $32. So I thought that'd be something interesting to make a video about. Chew, what's going on? Liberty Bleeds Silver, what's up? Silverback, what is happening? All right. Titan, what's happening? Your phone told you to come here and say hello. Good phone. All right, Silverback. So I got a new mold the other day. Actually, I got two new molds. So we got this one right here is a cross. And I've done a cross before. You guys know I'm kind of more into sand casting, but every now and again I like to try some graphite mold. So this was the original, and this is the new one. And I want to try to beat this one flat. So it's definitely going to be bigger. So that'll be fun to try. And then I got that. You really can't even tell what the hell it is. It's a Trump. It's going to be a Trump round. I poured this thing 6 times, and this is the best I could get. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what to do. It's all pitted around the face. Like, I don't know. I heated this thing up with a torch. Then I heated it up with 2 torches. I mean, I tried to heat it up really hot and then let it chill for a while. I think the next part is going to be either make an oven out of bricks and just have 2 torches just blasting it till it's red. Or I thought about maybe putting it in the oven. My oven goes up to, I think, 550 or 500, one of the two. And just let it sit in there for 20 minutes and maybe that'll make it hot enough. I don't know what else to do. So I did that 6 times. Still never came out right. Then I did a copper one. And the copper is okay. You know, it's not perfect. But at least everything came out. The back looks pretty cool. I definitely like this one. But then the very next one I tried to do in copper. I don't know what to do here. If anybody has any ideas, feel free to let me know. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Namaste, what's going on? Everything's good. How you doing? Rakamas, hello. 7 Stacks, hello. But, yeah, posted a bunch of videos. Well, not posted. I recorded a bunch of videos. So I'm going to be working on trying to get some stuff posted, like regular videos, a couple shorts. Man, I posted a short yesterday, and I had like 900 views in the first, like, couple minutes. It was like 10 minutes later. By the time I wrote everything in the description in studio, I came back to check and see how many views it got, and it was like 900. I was like, dude, that was pretty cool. I wish they would all do that. I don't know why that one got pushed, but I'm glad it did. Well, that didn't work very long. I need to get better lighting in here. Got this little DeWalt work light. Love this thing. Guess it up if I wasn't so zoomed in, huh? This thing is awesome. I got a regular flashlight, and I got like that big work light that they have. The thing is awesome. But yeah, this thing is so smooth, like it just flows really easy. You don't have to tighten it. I just leave it the way it is, and it'll stay. Of course, it's just the phone, but even when I put that Canon on top of it, it held it nice. So if anybody's in the market for a tripod, check out that video, and you can check out what it is. I don't know if I'm going to put a link to it. I'm not like affiliated with them in any way. I got it from Amazon. But yeah, man, if you're a photographer, it's great. If you're just trying to make videos with your phone, it's great. Lunch break. Yeah, it's just, I guess it's kind of a detailed piece, and it gets down in there pretty far. And even just having the torch, like just blowing straight on it, trying to heat it up, is just not really helping. It's weird because I have another piece too. I've never had issues. Actually, I have with this one, but that's because I didn't heat it up enough. If you heat it up, it's good. So I just found this the other day. I did a bunch of copper, all these copper bars. I found with this. Totally forgot I even had it. I made all these bars so that it'd be easier to melt down if I'm going to do some like sand casting, and totally forgot about it. So that was good to find that. Now I don't have to worry about cutting this thing down because I can't even fit that in a crucible. Orda, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping in. What you're eating? Huh? Fetty? I'm not eating anything. I'm messing around with some silver and copper. So yeah, this is how much shot I got left. Not much. I got a little half-ounce round. I'll probably melt down. I got a little bit of a sprue left, so that'll get melted. And then I got 4 1-ounce bars. I was holding on to these because they're all different, and I like the designs, but I need it. This is going to get melted down because that looks like crap. And then I got 1 Chiwoo and one of these pandas. I had a couple 2015s that I'm not really into holding on to any of this stuff anymore. If it's something I can melt, I will. I still got Titans though. The one Titan scent, I'll never melt that. And then I got this 5-ounce here. I'm gonna have to cut that in half to get it into the damn furnace. But yeah, I still got to post that video too, Titan. I made a video a while back, but I was trying to find it one day. It's somewhere on my phone. I just got so much stuff in there. I got some things I opened up from 3D, a couple things from some other people that I need to really get into my phone and start doing some work. Message retracted. Do we have a troll? Is that what's happening? Is all this copper you have collected, or do you purchase bars to melt? Both. I've definitely purchased some bars. There's 1-pound bars. I purchased a few of those. Some of the half-pound bars. Rounds. Granted, it's not the smartest thing to melt rounds down, but if I'm making like a 3D sand cast with it, you know, it'll definitely be worth more than what the rounds cost. So, but for the most part, I try to not really spend a whole lot of money. I got a bunch of wire that I melted down the other day. That's actually how I made these bars right here. I was doing an air conditioning job, and all he does is take the units. You pull up on a scale, then you dump it, and then you pull back on the scale, and it weighs the truck twice, and they pay you for whatever the difference is. But it's just steel, basically. So he doesn't get anything extra for the copper. So I just cut all the copper wire out of it. Some of them ended up being aluminum, though, and I might still do some aluminum pours at some point. I have a bunch of aluminum that 3D sent me, so we got to get into that soon. I'll be pouring some of this soon. Look how big those wires were. It's crazy. Nice size too. So I will be trying to do, I want to do sandcast of like all kinds of metal. I got 5 bars that are like 30 ounces each of brass. And I'm thinking about maybe doing some brass pours. We'll see what happens. Silver Spurs, what's going on? Troll. Yeah, whatever. It happens. If you don't get a troll, you're not doing something right. You know what I mean? If you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. I welcome the trolls. What's up, B. Taylor? How you doing? 5-ounce coin, just make silver shot from it. Video would be cool. Yeah, I actually, it's funny you say that because, like I said, I got all these videos stuck in my phone that I haven't tried to mess with yet. But I actually did that. The first time I melted one down, I cut it in half and then made shot with it and some other stuff. And it's a video somewhere. I just got to find it, edit it, and then post it. So I'll be busy doing that kind of stuff here in the coming weeks. Been trying to post at least a short every day. A lot of the things that I let go of in my last auction, I made a quick little video with it just because I knew I wasn't going to have it anymore. So I made a quick little video showing the front and back. And then I'm not talking or anything. I just play some good music over top of it. And those seem to be doing okay. You know, I get a couple hundred views. It's something. I just knew once it's gone, I started to think about how much of my stack that I've let go of in the past year. And it's about 80% of it. And all that stuff that I wish I still had to make videos with is gone. So I figured that's at least something I could do is make some shorts out of some of them. I thought it was a good idea. But yeah, I do have a video that I need to post of making shot. I think I did post another video making shot one time. I don't know if that was a short because I did it live and then I think I cut that into a short, which is what I'm going to be doing a lot too. Like I just did a gold buffalo short, and that was from a video I did like 3.5 years ago. So I'm going to start going through some of the old videos and reposting some shorts with it. Maybe even doing some screen recording on certain things and like trying to make a video of, you know, taking pieces from a bunch of my videos and just screen recording it. Trying to have some kind of theme or something. You know, I'm just not a stacker anymore or a collector. Like I don't have the money to really put into it. So, you know, I've been pouring obviously, but I've been letting go of a lot of my stack too in the auctions because, you know, I got to pay the bills. But yeah, I want to try to at least make videos from some of the old videos. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of new people that are here that weren't here in the first 1,000. In 2020 and 2021, that first year and a half, a lot of those people I haven't really seen since I've been back, and a lot of you guys are new. So I'm trying to bring both worlds together. Do you have any advice on what kind of setup someone wanting to try some copper pours would need? I find it really interesting. Well, you can't do it with this method because it doesn't get hot enough. Unless you've got a torch that gets really hot, you could melt it. But I would suggest to get a gas furnace, really. I like to do copper in the gas furnace. I do have an electric furnace too. You can get one of these, the 2 auto. Those are really nice. I think that one's like $330. But for like $250, well, shit, that was a long time ago. That was like 4 years when I bought that Devil Forge. But you can get a Devil Forge furnace. You used to be able to get it for like $250. But, you know, you got to use gas with it. So the gas does cost money. But it's faster. It heats up faster. And copper has to be hotter. So it says right here, you got 1,083 degrees Celsius, which is 1982 Fahrenheit. And then silver is 961, 1763 Fahrenheit. And gold is about the same as copper. So if you're looking to do copper, you got to get something that's going to be hot enough. When I first started, I tried to use the cup method with the torch, and it melted, but it wouldn't pour. It just basically stuck to the cup. And then I kind of messed the cup up and had to like re-season the cup. But if you get one of those, like, is it saline torch? I always have the wrong word when it comes to that. I don't think it's saline. I've said it wrong so many times, I really don't trust myself anymore. But you know what I'm saying. One of those, you can get like an oxygen. You know, the oxygen, I think, makes it a little bit hotter. Whatever the mixes are, I don't know. I don't really use any of that stuff, but get a hot torch, and you might be able to use the cup method. But yeah. For me, I would suggest to get a gas furnace. You got to be a little bit safer with a gas furnace, though. Like with the electric, it doesn't, like the whole thing isn't like crazy hot. The problem is you got to be careful with the crucibles. The crucibles do break after a while. And with a gas crucible, I use the salamanders, and those things last forever. I've poured hundreds of ounces through those things. Granted, copper is always a little bit harder on a crucible than silver is. You definitely go through them faster, and you can't mix them either. So if you're going to do copper, use the same thing. If you're going to do silver, make sure you get a different crucible. And by crucible, I'm talking about this sort of thing. That's a salamander, how it's like, it's painted black. And then the one in here, that's obviously for electric. Man, that thing is, I've only used that one a few times, and it's already starting to pit up pretty good. Acetylene. Would I say saline again? I probably did. I keep doing that. Acetylene, yeah. Horse track. You at the horse track, Muscle Show? What's going on, by the way? Appreciate you stopping in. Silver Throne Stacker, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. Just hanging out for a little while. I got to get out of here pretty soon today, so I don't even know if I'm going to deal with setting the furnace up. But I might come back on later and do some coin roll hunting, if anybody's into that. I just didn't want to miss a Thursday pour day, so the show must go on no matter what. And I always have a good time hanging out and talking with you guys, so. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I tried to do a Q&A last Thursday, and nobody really had any Qs. It was just a lot of A's. I had a bunch of answers for people that didn't ask me any questions. But yeah, you know, I've been doing pouring for about 3.5 years. I started a YouTube channel in 2020 where it was all about stacking silver, gold, coins, bills, just all of that kind of stuff. And then I took a break for 2 years. And then when I came back about a year ago, I was just 100% thrusted into pouring. That's all I wanted to really do. And I didn't have the funds to pour and be a stacker or a collector. So a little bit different now, but I am going to start branching out and trying to do some of those old type of videos again. And then, actually, I've been coin roll hunting a little bit too. I did 2 videos of a bill search. No, I did a video of a $20 bill search and found a couple cool things. And then I took that money and changed it in for 10s and some 1s. So I got $500 in 10s and I got $100 in 1s. We're going to bill search those. I still got like 50 bucks in quarters to go through. I still got quite a bit of pennies to go through. So we'll be doing some of that stuff too. But now that spring's here, I'm also going to get my GoPro out. And we're going to start messing with that because I've never used it. I got it like 7 months ago and still haven't used the thing yet. The problem is with a GoPro, you had to hook it up to your phone even to get it to turn on. And it wouldn't let my phone do it because I had an iPhone 7. Now I got an iPhone 16. But to get it on, to be able to use it, I had my daughter use her phone to set it up. So I got to figure out how I can change it over to my phone. So that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can still use it, but I like to be able to see what the camera's looking at. Like if I got it on my chest or I got it on my head, I could just pull my phone out and see what it looks like. See if I need to adjust anything. But yeah, that's a nice GoPro too. The Hero 12, I think is what it was. The Creator Edition. So it comes with like all the attachments and everything. And I had some attachments for one anyway because I bought a cheap one years ago. but I never even used that one because it was so cheap. Yeah, so gas and electric crucibles are different and only use their individual application. Yeah. Yeah, so that's for copper. This one is for silver. This is a 3 kilogram crucible. I suggest using a 3 kilogram crucible. These ones, when you stick them in, there's a gap that goes all the way around them because they're not as big, and the heating element goes around it, and it just does not heat them up enough. I got some aluminum stuck in here because I couldn't get it to pour out. But yes, you definitely want to not mix your metals. I mean, shoot, even when it comes to files, like this is for copper, I have all the ones for silver. I just made a video too. I'll be posting that soon about tools of the trade. I just ordered a bunch of stuff like duff clay, a new crucible. I got the tripod. Of course, I ended up putting that in a different video, but it's still in that video showing you guys that I got it. The duff clay, what else? Files, just all kinds of stuff, kind of things that you got to pick up if you're going to get into pouring. So that'd be a good one to watch when I post it. Of course, there's always more stuff to be picked up. I've been collecting this stuff for years. But I will be honest, man, be careful, because if you're trying to get into pouring, you can go out and just buy way too much stuff because you think you're going to need it. And a lot of times, I got so many things that I've never even used, not one time. Really cool stuff too, but the problem is with, here, I'll show you this thing. Look at this. That's for getting the crucible out of a gas furnace. That's a gas furnace right there. But it's so big, it barely even fits in there. So it's kind of hard to use it because it's so damn big. So I've never used it. And what's funny about that, we can take that even further. So then I bought this one. This is for the gas. It's different with the electric. So I had this, and I used this for years. But it's always been kind of big because the crucibles are, you know, small. They're like half this size. So then I bought this one, which is perfect. I'm going to be doing some gold here soon too. I got 5 grams of gold. I'm not going to do it in a live stream because I want to make a video out of it because I feel like it would get decent views. But I'm going to try to have that ready for the next auction, which I'm hoping is going to be next Friday. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to do it next Friday regardless of how much stuff I have, but I do got a couple pieces here. This one will be up for auction. Some copper pieces. I will have silver pieces too, but I'm trying to get into copper a little bit. I've done hundreds of ounces in silver, but when it comes to copper, man, probably only, I mean, I have poured some like 10-ounce bars and things like that. But man, I think those sold for like 10 or 12 bucks. And I was like, man, I could have did sand casts with those and did so much more with it, you know? So I don't think I'll do any more 10-ounce bars. I have these bars that I think are right around 2 ounces. And I'm going to stamp capital currency along it. I think that'll be kind of fun. Something different. Hopefully I have some more of these Trump rounds. 2.06. So they're all just around 2 ounces. I think they're all a little bit over, but yeah, I'm not a political man, so don't think, you know, I'm sitting here trying to pump Trump up. I think he's doing some good things, but I think he's doing some weird things too. We'll see what happens. I like what he's trying to do, but, you know, we'll see where that takes us. But I'm not a political man. There's people that always ask me about Trump stuff. So I try to have it for them. I guess I'm kind of what you call an independent. I'm going to look into this. I have many ideas. Yeah, I got a 3D printer too. And I 3D printed a bunch of stuff back in 2021, 2022. It was actually at the end of 2021 when I got that. So mostly 2022. And just kind of went crazy and printed all kinds of stuff. And I've made quite a few pours with things that I've 3D printed. But the best thing to do with a 3D printer is to be able to know how to make your own. Like, I just get stuff from the internet. And I would love to be able to like take a picture, put it into the computer, make it 3D, and then slice it and print it. Like that's what I really want to get to, but I'm just really bad when it comes to electronics and computers and figuring stuff out like that. Never been my forte. I'm good with my hands, but when it comes to using the brain for stuff like that, I'm just not that good with it. I admit it. You have a ton of stuff to search. Took a week off from hunting. Yeah, I just got back into it. I used to do it back in the day, and those videos always did kind of decent. But I would make a video out of it instead of live streaming. I never live streamed back when I first started, for that first year and a half. I didn't live stream until I went on that break and then came back. So I've been live streaming. Because I really like to live stream because you guys can see something that I might not see, which actually happened. I didn't see a die chip. I'd actually already put it to the side because it looked like it had doubling on it anyway. And I come to find out there was a die chip on the back. So that was cool. I have a book that I use, but there's a lot of stuff that's not in that book. I don't have to worry about buying too much stuff. I'm ultra frugal on purchases. Yeah, me too. I want to buy some shot, but man, it's so damn expensive. That's why I've been melting down some of the things that I've had for years. Because everything that I melt down, I got it all from J.M. Bullion. And I know it's legit. No worry whatsoever. But other than that, I always use shot. Like I think I've poured 250 ounces of shot. I had like either 2 or 3 kilos, 100 ounces, 50 ounces. I think I had another 50 ounces. So I do like to use shot. And it's cool to take things like I showed earlier and melt it down and then make your own shot. The problem is with making your own shot, it always tends to be really big because when they make shot professionally, they put it through like a sifter. It's like a metal sifter. And I was thinking about maybe getting one of those from the dollar store and dumping it through it and seeing if that will make them smaller. Because I saw a video where they were making shot professionally one time, and I was like, oh, that's how they do it. Because mine would always be real big, and a lot of them will clump together, which is still cool. I mean, you can still kind of weigh it out, but it is better to get, when you're trying to do like something 1/2 ounce or 1 ounce, and you're trying to get it right on. That's when I break the cup out. When I'm trying to do like channel rounds, like the 1/2 ounce or the 1 ounce channel rounds, I always use the cup and torch method because I'm not going to sit there with a furnace and put an ounce in at a time. I'll just use the cup method. I do suggest if you're going to get into pouring, I always tell people, a lot of people are getting into it for silver though, not copper. I always tell everybody start with the cup and torch method because then you kind of learn how the metal works and you see how long it takes to melt when you got a torch on it, and you got to kind of shake it around a little bit and got to get it kind of moving and make sure everything's melted. It's a good way to start to kind of just learn the metal and how it melts. But like I said, with copper, it's kind of different because it's got to be so much hotter. But if you get a good torch, you could do it that way. I mean, people use a torch with gold all the time, and it's pretty much the same degree to melt. But, you know, it's a heavy-duty torch. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's very addicting, I can tell you that. I'm having an issue now, though, where I've poured so many things, and I'm kind of like, I never know, like, what to do next. And I still have pieces that I haven't poured. And I've tried to do some new pieces, but they weren't working out. So yesterday, I got the 3D printer. I had a glass plate on it. I have an Ender 3 Pro. and I put a glass plate on it, and it worked a couple times, and now it's like being weird. So I took the glass plate off and I put the original one back on and set it back up yesterday, and I had to keep going to all four corners like 18 times to get it to finally be at the right spot. So I think I got it set up right. I'll probably test it one more time, and then later on I'm going to try to do a 3D print, because I'm doing this Spartan helmet, and I made it kind of small, and I did 2 of them and then glued them together so that it made it thicker. So it'd be, you know, probably a little bit over an ounce. And where the helmet is and where the feather, you know, like the red feather thing or whatever that stuff is, there's a gap on the back. And every time I pull the sand out when I try to do that. So I'm going to print it bigger, but just make it 1. So it'll be a thinner piece, but it'll be bigger and still have it to be around an ounce. Maybe 1.5 ounces. There's a lot of pieces that I've done before that I'm going to try to do in some different sizes. All right, I appreciate you hanging out. If anybody has any questions, you know, I'm an open book with everything. So I'm not the gatekeeper. I never have been, never will be. I have no problem telling you guys what you need to know. It's funny though, there is guys out there, like there's certain things they just will not show you. Everybody is really, people gatekeep the most when it comes to toning. I find that people just don't want to tell you. Now, I tone silver with a liver of sulfur. And somebody told me that you can't tone copper with liver of sulfur. I've never tried. But I like antiquing pieces, making it real dark and then cleaning it up so like the lower parts are dark and then the higher parts are silver. It really makes everything pop. Like when I did this one in silver, I toned it or antiqued it and it looked really good. And then I did another one where I didn't, I just left it silver. It's like a whole extra process to it. There's a lot of time involved in trying to do a good pour, start to finish, because you pour it, then you got to cut the sprue off, and you got to clean it up. You have to make sure you vent when it comes to sand casting. I did find a new way to do it where I don't tend to get a bunch of vent lines coming out. If there is, they're very small, and I can usually file it off pretty quick. 2 or 3 swipes and it's to normal. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's also very and Marsh, what's going on? You like the alien? This is, I have a couple aliens. I have a Geiger's alien, which is like a square bar, and then this is called the alien spawn. The tail on this one is a variant because it didn't fill out all the way. I did one for 7, and I wanted to make sure that it looked like her silver one because she wanted like copper to match the silver, and I wasn't going to give her that. Even though she said, oh, you can send that, I was like, no, you've done so much for me and picked up a lot of my pores, and I mean, if it was anybody, I feel like they would deserve the best I can do. So I kept doing it and finally got it right. But I do like this one too, and everything else looks great. So I'm going to end up putting that out as like a tail variant, because you can see the tail is actually supposed to be a little bit longer like this. Sorry for the lighting in here, by the way. But what do you guys think about the cross? So it's a pretty decent sized cross, and then I'm going to hammer it flat so it has that hammer look to it. So the back will be pretty much flat, and then the top will be kind of hammered, if I can do it right. I've done it with this one before. But that one ends up kind of, whenever you hammer something flat, obviously it gets wider. And this one, because it's a lot smaller, I think this one will look really good that way. So we're going to attempt that one at some point soon too. But yeah, I tend to pour during live streams, and I don't really pour in videos that much. I'm going to start trying to pull shorts out of some of the live streams. But, and then I could always screen record too if I wanted to make something longer. Because I think when you remix something, it can only be a minute. But if you record it yourself, through the phone, I think it can be 3 minutes. I need to figure out too if it's possible to add music to something that you remix, because I didn't see the music button when I tried to do that, but I've only done it a few times. Yeah, I like the hammered look too. I might do some more, one thing I haven't done is channel rounds that are hammered. That could be cool. But the channel rounds, I like to do a CC stamped on the front, like the backward C and then the regular C. I like how that looks. I'm like one of those kind of like symmetrical type of people where the left needs to look as good as the right. Like when it's the same, it just looks better to me. So I came up with that a long time ago. I was showing somebody the other day, I was trying to come up with sticker designs and I drew it. And I never did make that any kind of design. But that does look pretty cool, man. I'm thinking about maybe sending that to somebody and seeing if they can make a design for me. I haven't made sticker designs in a very long time. I'd have to learn all of that all over again. There's a website you go to, and you go on their website and make it, and then just save the file. And it's free. I gotta figure out what that was again. Zanine, hello. How you doing? Appreciate you stopping in. Just talking about pouring, hanging out a little bit. Not gonna go as long as I normally do, but I figured I'd pop on for an hour and hang out with you guys. And then maybe later on I'll do a coin roll hunt and hang out some more. See what happens. And hopefully be posting a couple videos in the next day or two. You doing all right? Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear. So yeah, I want to do that gold, and I'm thinking about, this is what this came with the 2 auto, and I'm thinking this little circle right here, it's small enough to where, obviously it's not going to fill it all the way up, but if I can get that in there, it's going to be tricky too. I have this little half crucible, and I got to do it in the gas furnace, but it's going to be really hard to get this thing to pour right in there. Like it's a little bit of a gap, so I'm kind of nervous to try to do it. And it's 5 grams of gold. I really don't want to mess that up, but I need to pour this stuff, or I'm just going to sell it as shot because I need the money for it. It's just too much money sitting around that I could use right now. Mark Lester, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. Johnny O, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you stopping in. Hope you're doing well. And just talking about pouring. Got some shot here. I'll be melting that little bit down, but I'm going to probably make some more shot. I got some 5-ounce pieces and some 1-ounce pieces. These quarters are really cool. I think I had like 5 of them. I got 4 left. So that gives me 20 ounces right there. A couple of 1-ouncers that tend to be a little bit more on a premium, but if I can melt them down and make a sand cast with it, I can make more off of it than just trying to sell them. So what's the point of trying to keep them, you know? I'm not really holding on to my stack. And I do want to talk about that a little bit. This is why we stack. You know, you're going to go through some time in your life where you're going to need to come up with money. That's why we stack. It's a savings account for me. That's it. People will tell you a million reasons why you should stack. For me, it's a savings account because I cannot save money. If my life depended on it, I couldn't save money. Even if it's in the bank, I know I got that bank card. And I always see something that I want. If I showed you around the shed, you would understand. Like I got so many tools and so many, music or guitars and drums and music equipment and all that stuff, man. I got a full sound system, a full lighting system, a lot of tools, man. I always pick that stuff up. And when I see a deal, and I used to work for a place that sold tools, and so sometimes I would get them for free because DeWalt would do this thing where if you spent a certain amount or if you sold a certain amount, they would either give you a gift card. And so they were going to give me a gift card for $600. But they said, if you get tools, we'll give you $1,200. We'll double it. And I was like, hell yeah, give me the tools. That's kind of a no-brainer. So I got a bunch of 20 volt and 60 volt. I got the 60 volt chainsaw and that 20-volt work light. I got a big 1/2-inch hammer drill, a 1/4-inch hammer drill. It was pretty cool. Tons of batteries. I've got 5 of the 9 amp hour 60 volts, so I can run my chainsaw pretty much all day if I needed to. I got a 12 amp hour battery for that too, man. That thing is like $250 for one battery, but I got it for free. So, but yeah, don't work there anymore, so I can't get those deals like I used to. But even just walking through Home Depot, man, I see something, I'm like, man, I don't have one of those. I really could use that. And then I'll think about a million reasons why I could use it. Kind of like that welder. Johnny O, if you're still here, I know you like that. I got a welder. Never used the damn thing. I bought that in 2020 and still have not used it yet. So actually, I'm going to break that out in the next week or two. And I'm just going to turn it on and go for it. I got a flask I'm trying to make. So flasks are not very big. If you can't fit it in here, it's not going to work. So this one I'm trying to make so I can have a bigger flask. And it'll be 2 of them that'll go together, and then you take it apart. But I got to weld the corners. And then I was thinking about like this. Although I think this is too big. I might just end up drilling a hole or something. But this was going to go on the top to pour into it. But I don't need all that. If I do, I might cut it in half. It's kind of big. And then these pieces are going to go on the side to make sure that it slides right into the right spot. But yeah, that's something I've been trying to do for years. I got this cut and cleaned up, and now it's already kind of starting to get rusty again, so I need to clean it up again. But, yeah. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like. Appreciate you. Oh, man. It's a little bit chillier today than it has been. We've been having 60-degree days for a while. I think it's like 50 today. But anyway, yeah, that's why we stack, you know. Sometimes life happens and you gotta do what you gotta do. Do I regret selling a lot of my stack? Yeah, I wish I didn't have to do that, to be honest. But that's why we do it, man. You know, I could never save money no matter what. And when I started stacking, I actually started saving cash because I started stacking and watching videos about like coin roll hunting and bill searching. So I started to bill search. And whenever I'd find like a $100 star note, I'd put it to the side. $20, $10, $5, $1, anything I would find with a star on it, I would keep it. But then it got to the point where I had like probably $7,000 or $8,000 in star notes that weren't rare because I'd been collecting them for so many years. And I ended up kind of going through them. And if they weren't rare, I let them go. And what I would do is go into a store and say, hey, this is a star note. Do you know what this is? You know, if there wasn't a line, obviously. But just tell people about it, get people interested and learning about that stuff. Hey, I got a YouTube channel if you want to step by, kind of thing. Goodita, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, Johnny. I definitely want to use that welder, but I've never welded before. And I hear stick welding is pretty easy. I guarantee I'd be pretty good at that. Now, I'm really good with my hands. Like, if I sit and do it 2 or 3 times, I'll be good at it. I know I will. But I just get nervous about, like, having the timing right, because there's 2 knobs that you got to have it just right. I didn't realize, this is how dumb I am. I didn't realize that you had to pull the trigger to get the line through it. I thought that there was a button. I thought you push that button on the side and it automatically feeds it. And I was like, well, it's not feeding it through, because I did it before and I took it out because I ended up not using it for a while and I had to move it around. So I was like, let me just take the wire out of it and kind of have it stored. But somebody was telling me, yeah, you got to pull the trigger to get the wire through. And I was like, oh, oops. I could not figure out why it wouldn't get through. Gadita, what's going on? Bellows, what's going on? Appreciate you guys stopping in. Just hanging out a little bit today. CJO, what's going on? If I missed anybody, my bad. Could have said it better myself. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's definitely been a hedge against inflation because silver has went up so much, and gold too. Man, when I first got into gold, it was like $1,800 an ounce. And I had like 7 ounces of gold. I think it was like 6.5 ounces of gold. And I have 5 grams left. Which sucks because I have a feeling it's going to go up even more. You know, a lot of people were talking about, um, man, I better not get into all that. I don't know enough about it, but somebody was talking about XRP and how Trump is like really trying to do sort of that sort of thing and kind of getting into it and then reevaluating it or revaluing it or something like that. So people think like XRP is just going to go crazy. I don't own any. I own some Bitcoin. I own some Dogecoin. I actually got some of that when it was like 0.00002 cent because I had some change laying around. I was like, let me buy some of this stuff. It was literally, I think the first time I bought it, I had like 32 cents. And I was like, well, there's something I can buy. You never know. Something might go up. And it did. I sold some of it when it went up real high and then kept the rest of it. And then it's already back up. It's always going to be up more from what I paid for it. So, but yeah, I don't have a whole lot of Bitcoin. I wish I had like a couple thousand in Bitcoin, but yeah, I don't know. Everything's been kind of dropping a little bit when it comes to. I don't really look at stocks that much anymore because I'm not in it like I used to be. But I know everything was kind of taking a hit. And then silver and gold's been steady going up. Skills. I'm glad you're doing good, Bellows. When I first started stacking, I could have got into Bitcoin for 50. Yeah, dude. I was gonna get in when it was 7,000 because everybody kept talking about it when it was lower. I don't know about 50, but when it first came out, I remember people talking about it, and it was probably like $100, and I was like, man, I don't know nothing about that stuff. I'm not gonna invest in something I don't know anything about. And then I kind of learned a little bit about it. When it got to 7,000, I was like, man, I really should get in, and I didn't. I didn't get in until it was like 32,000. So man, imagine if you had if you had to spend $1,000 on Bitcoin when it was 50 each. But that's what they're saying the XRP is going to be. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. If anybody knows, leave a comment. I would love to learn about that sort of thing. There's a lot of like behind the scenes going on with people in office and kind of trying to hint about something that might be happening. And you know, them people in office, there's actually there's an app you can get where you just buy all the stocks that the people in office are buying, and when they sell, you sell, because they have inside. They know what's going to happen. They know things that are about to change. I can't believe that's legal. Talk about a conflict of interest, but they all do it. XRP is 235. Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at it. I think it was 233 when I looked at it the other day. I was going to buy 13 at 50 a piece. Man. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I think it was 2011. Yeah, that was when my daughter was born. Sounds about right. You know, back then I was kind of more into prepping and buying preps and things. Like I wanted to make sure, because I just had a daughter, I got back into hunting again. So I was hunting whenever I could. I was buying preps, buying things for hunting, trying to just, now that you got a family that you got to take care of, like I was, and I have a couple stepkids too. So it was like a lot happening back then. And I was like, man, I need to make sure, for one, I can go out and kill my own food. And so I went out, first time I ever went, got one. And from the bullet to my plate. I did everything. I don't really do that anymore. Usually I just take it to a butcher. But but yeah, got into that, and then started stacking up canned foods and preps, and just all kinds of different preps, really. A lot of freeze-dried food and things like that. Johnny, you're a bit of a prepper, right? I'm pretty sure we've talked about prepping before. I'm going to start doing videos about prepping too, because I've got a lot of preps I could show you guys. A lot of really cool pieces. I got a solar-powered generator that was like $3,000. I've never showed it, never even pulled it out. Actually, no, I pulled it out one time because we lost power for like 2 days. And I have a basement, and I got a sump pump in that basement, and it was raining for 2 days. So I hooked it up to the sump pump, and it worked flawlessly. And it had the original charge on it, and I had it for a couple years. It's basically just a big ass battery that you charge up. That's all it is. That's all any kind of solar stuff is, really. So what was that? Hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought my daughter was coming to tell me she was leaving. What the hell was I talking about? I forgot. Oh, solar power generator. So I got a solar power generator, and I hooked it up to that, and it worked great. And I only lost 1 nugget. I think it has like 5 nuggets of charge. And by nugget, I mean it tells you how much you have left. And out of 5, I think I lost 1 in about a 24-hour span. And of course, it doesn't run the whole time. It kicks on and then kicks off. So it's not always pulling power. But yeah, man, it works great for that. And it's good for a refrigerator, because obviously your refrigerator's inside, and if you're running, and I do have regular generators too, but then it's outside running, it's loud as hell. People know you have it, for one. So I wanted a solar powered, that way the only thing I have to have outside is the solar part, and you can actually run it inside, because all it is a battery. It's not a motor. And then I got another charger. I got little phone chargers. I got like 8 of those little phone chargers that you can charge anything that has USB. And those are solar powered. And then I got another solar powered thing where it's like kind of a bigger, it's like that charger, but it's like 4 or 5 times the size, but it's not quite the generator either. I love stuff like that. It was expensive back then, though. Everything's a little bit cheaper now, I think. Well, that's not true. Everything seems to be more expensive these days. But the technology, when things first come out, they tend to be a lot more expensive. I remember when a nail gun cost like $1,000. Now you can get one for like $200. The topic is full of conflict. Are you talking about prepping or something else? Are you talking about Trump? I did make some Trump rounds. The revolving door, politicians go to work, corporations, yep. I always tell everybody, you know who your president is? Larry Fink of BlackRock. That's who your president really is. Maybe not now, but when Biden was in office, they were the ones making all the decisions. Yeah, I try to stay out of that stuff because I'm not really on any kind of side. I'm probably more conservative than anything, but I don't like picking sides. Nobody should be doing that anyway. A lot of times people will vote Republican or Democrat just because that's what they feel that they got to do. How about, voting for the person, voting for the policy? I'm going to vote for somebody just because they're not Trump. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But that's about as far as I'm going to go with politics. Prepper since 9/11. Yeah, me too. I was prepping a little bit back then. I really didn't have a whole lot of money back then. I was barely getting by. But I would try to store little things here and there. I've always been a little bit of a prepper anyway because I like stuff like that, like batteries and knives, and I've always been a collector of like things like that. Battery powered tools. Like if the shit did hit the fan and all of a sudden, like, I'm not gonna say what could happen, but Say the power goes off and it doesn't come back for a while. Having the solar power generators, and I do have regular gas generators, but if you can't get gas, that's not going to last but so long. Now I do stock gas up too. I got, I think, 6 5-gallon cans that I keep full at all times. And then what I do is I'll dump it into my truck every so often. Try to keep it for about 6 months, and then I'll put it in my truck and then go buy more. So it's always, I'm always putting fresh stuff in there. Because nowadays with the ethanol, gas doesn't last very long. I won't even put ethanol, I won't even put regular gas in my chainsaws, because I'll go and buy that expensive gas that's mixed, the 50-to-1. I buy that because the one time I tried to use gas and mix the oil with it, I didn't use it for like 6 months and it would not start. I could not get that thing started for like days. I finally got it running again. But I actually have a little skill chainsaw that I need to get some work done too, because I couldn't make that start the other day. I got a Poland 20-inch, and then I have like a little, I think it's a 14-inch skill. And not skill. Man, I can't think of what. Still, that's what it is. But I haven't ran that thing in so long. I need to get a new cord for it too. The cord was starting to fray because I was pulling on it so much. Don't know about prepping, but I got Doge and Shiba. Nice. Yeah, everybody was talking about the Shiba being going to the moon. I don't know how much it's went up recently. Somebody was talking about XRP as like, it's kind of like when they first started making cars, because it's like a blockchain or something. It's going to be like a way that everybody can make payments and things like that, I think, or something. And now, don't quote me. I could be totally wrong on all this. But the way the guy was explaining it was like, it was like when cars first came out. Nobody could afford a car except for the rich people. So what they did is they started building roads everywhere. And then people started seeing the cars zooming down. They're like, man, why am I using this horse? I need to get me a car. And XRP is like the thing you buy to get the blockchain or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but something that I was thinking about looking into. Because just like gold, that's another thing that we're talking about, is just like gold, they confiscated all of it in 1933. Confiscated all the gold. And then I think it was Roosevelt, whoever the president was. I think it was Roosevelt, but I'm not sure. They revalued it. So they bought it from everybody for like $30 and then revalued it at like 75 or 100 or something like that, or 100 and something maybe. I don't even know. I don't know what the prices were, but it was like double at least. Isn't that messed up? Tell the whole country that they can't have gold anymore and they got to turn it in and pay you for it and then revalue it. But that's what they say that it's going to happen with XRP. And I'm like, I don't know. Something to look into, I guess. Prepping since Y2K. Yeah, Mark, that's probably... I remember everybody talking about in the year 2000, no computers are going to work because there was some kind of glitch with a date or something, and all the computers were going to shut down. The whole world was going to turn into chaos. I didn't really believe all that. But that's when I did start to kind of learn about prepping a little bit. And then when 9/11 happened, I was like, yeah, this isn't good. And all the things that were going on in the world, that's when I started kind of getting into it a little bit. But 2008, when the crash happened in 2008, that's when I really started getting into it. And then my daughter was born, shortly after that. And when she was born, that's when I'm like, I need to learn how to hunt again. I need to do this and do that and get my skills up and trying to learn whatever it is I could. You'd like to see the prepping vids? Okay, cool. I'll definitely be posting some stuff. SGT, what's up? Appreciate you stopping in. I'm late on the comment. Yeah, I'm really far back, it seems like. I'm trying to catch up now. Dove season, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you stopping in. Thought the muskrat was press. So confused. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Trying to catch up here. Yeah, Bellows, it's hard to find ethanol-free gas around here. But yeah, whenever I put stuff in my lawnmower, and I really need to get that thing out. I got a 0 turn. I'm thinking about maybe starting a business up in the spring, which we're pretty much there now. Cutting grass and doing some landscaping. Because I have all the stuff. I have everything. I got a blower, the weed whackers. I got a DeWalt. That's another thing I got from DeWalt, a 60-volt weed whacker. That thing is freaking awesome. I've never even used it. Because I have a little Black & Decker 18-volt that I use all the time around the house. But I also have a gas one, too, that I barely use. And then the backpack blower. Bunch of hand tools. Like, I pretty much have anything I could possibly need to do that sort of thing. Wheelbarrow, all that stuff. So I'm thinking about if I can get to spring doing the pouring. I'm also kind of getting into air conditioning too, so we'll see what happens with that. I definitely would rather do that than anything. Grilling some burgers, Duff season. You know what I do with burgers? And I do a lot of deer burger. But even with regular burger, there's a mix called Sour's Hamburger Mix. It is so good. And then I'll chop up like a half an onion and mix in with it the meat. Man, talk about delicious. And then I'll, if I don't do it on the grill, I'll do it in the air fryer, which is pretty good too. So when you started stacking, 1999. Man, I wish I did. I didn't start stacking until 2019. Like hard stacking, like just putting a lot of money into it. I had picked up a couple things here and there. In 2019, when the quarters came out, that's when I started to learn about that sort of thing. And then I found stacking channels and I was like, oh, this is what I'm missing. You know what I did before that is I had season tickets to the Washington Capitals hockey team. And I would always buy memorabilia because I thought this is a good way to buy stuff that will be worth more later. So when I die, I can hand it down to my daughter, and then she can sell it. And so I was putting money into that because it was hard for me to save money. But then when I found stacking, it was like, oh, okay, this is a lot better way to put my money away. And if you're gonna buy something with your silver, you got to sell it, and it's not the easiest thing to sell it. Yeah, man. Silver Spurs. I'm trying to do some fishing too. I can't wait to get out there, take that GoPro with me, catch a couple hogs. I do a lot of pond fishing and fishing for bass, but I'm also on the Chesapeake Bay, so I can go fishing. The problem is around here in the Chesapeake Bay, you can catch rockfish and bluefish and like all kinds of stuff, but unless you got a boat, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I do have a little John boat, but nothing to really take out into the bay. So I'll go fishing at like some parks and stuff, which are really cool parks around here. I'm going to take you guys to some of that stuff. We're going to definitely get into that in the spring before it starts to get too hot and the bugs get everywhere. I'm going to do some metal detecting at one of these places too. What was my original point? Damn, I might have lost it. Hold on. Anyway, fishing. Like I only catch like spot and croaker, like little fish, and it's really not that fun. And I like to go with my daughter, and she likes to catch fish, but she gets bored if she doesn't catch anything. And so you kind of got to time the rockfish right. You got to know when they're around. They tend to be more south a lot of times. Excellent idea. Any side hustle is a great plan. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely enjoying the pouring, and I have an auction like once a month, sometimes a little more if I can. But it's hard to make enough money to pay bills and to buy more shot. And shot's so damn expensive right now. So at some point, I'm not going to have no more stuff to melt down unless I buy more shot. So we got to do something. How we go from coins to meat, because we're on the Capital Currency channel and we talk about pretty much everything. I should just change it to the variety channel. You never know what we might be getting into over here, because we're all really hungry. I tell you what, I'm really hungry now. I'm thinking about that burger. I still got a bunch of deer burger in the, I got one steak left, so that kind of sucks. But I still got a pretty good amount of burger. Didn't even cross my mind until my father passed away. Then I said, gotta check this out. Yeah. I need to give my father a call. I haven't talked to him in a while. And it's probably been like 2 months. I gotta call him. Watch yourself, Doug. Hot grease isn't fun. Yes, ma'am. You know, that's one thing I never really cook with is grease. I mean, I don't really cook a whole lot anyway. I'm kind of the grill guy. And we did get a smoker. She picked up an electric smoker, and I've done ribs in it, which were pretty good. I tried to do this like fake ass brisket, which was terrible. It was good like the first day, but the next day when we tried to eat some, it was like not even worth it. I think we ended up throwing it away. But it was almost, I think it was like some kind of like London broil or something. It wasn't the right kind of meat. But I watched a video where they were talking about how like the cheap version of brisket. But you got to cook it for a long time, which I didn't have that time. And then you got to let it rest. Some people let things rest like a brisket for 24 hours in a cooler. Now, I did have the cooler, and I let it rest for like 2 hours when I did the brisket. And it was okay. But when I did that fake brisket, it was terrible. But a pork butt, those are always good. I'm trying to stay away from pork, though. I'm really not a fan of eating pork. And I mean, it tastes good, but I'm trying to get away from that a little bit. I'd like to go. There's places around here where you can go buy like a whole cow or a half a cow or a quarter of a cow, or you can just buy pieces, whatever it is you want to get. And I was looking into that at one point, but I had got some from somebody. And when I ate it, it did not taste as good. Like, it was definitely, grass-fed does not taste as good as whatever them antibiotics and everything else they're shooting these things up with. It does make them taste better, and that's probably why they do it. Just like anything else, just like McDonald's. The bread in McDonald's has what? Was it 30 different ingredients or something for a bun? What? That makes no sense to me. But that's also why they don't go bad. You can take a McDonald's hamburger with cheese, no condiments, because the condiments will go bad. But if you just have a bun, a burger, and cheese, it does not go bad. And people are putting that in their stomachs. I haven't eaten from McDonald's in a long time because of that. This woman, I saw a video of this woman, she pulled out a burger from like 20 years ago, and it didn't have any mold on it. What? I'm not putting that in my stomach. Every now and again, I'm not gonna lie, I still do like a Big Mac, but it's kind of like a once a year thing for me. You're using the Traeger. Time to cheese them up. There's a new grill out, dove season. I don't know if you've seen this thing. I saw it on a commercial the other day. It's a smoker, it's a grill, and it's a griddle. So when she ordered that smoker, she also ordered one of those griddles. What's it called? I don't remember the name of it now. But it's a griddle, and I put it together. I made like half a video with it, putting it together, and then I was going to season it. I've been waiting for like a nice day when I don't have to pour. And I was going to season it and finish that video. So I will be posting the video about that at some point. And then maybe doing some cooking on it. I did a couple shorts when I was cooking some of those ribs with the smoker. But I've never used electric smoker before. Here, I'll show you what I use. This is what I've always used. That one right there. But the box on the side there is totally rusted out. Like you can't even, you can't use it. I got to either get a new box for it or just use it as a grill. Because the grill part's fine. It's not even like rusty or anything, but the bottom rusted out of that other part. So, but yeah, it was my first time using that. And I'm telling you, there was a lot of smoke in it. We did chicken one time too. And the chicken was really smoky. Like I probably could have used a little bit less smoke, to be honest. But man, when I would use that other one with charcoal, I'll go through a whole bag of those little chips. And with the electric smoker, man, you fill it up one time and that's about it. So the chips will last you a heck of a lot longer too. I haven't tried it with any big pieces, but I don't think you're supposed to put big pieces in it. I think you're supposed to just use the little stuff. I like apple wood. I pretty much use apple wood for everything. Damn, Gadita. She's about to burn a man. Get back. Get back to where you once belong. Yeah, that lab meat. I don't know about that, Bellows. That stuff scares me. I'm glad they're starting to change up. Like, is it the red dye 40 that they stopped? They're going to quit doing that? I've been talking about this stuff for years. I mean, they literally put arsenic in some of our food. Like, what? Agriculture was kind of the downfall of humanity, trying to make everything last forever. You know what I try to do now? If you want to be the healthiest that you could possibly be, go to the store and buy things that will go bad within a week. If it doesn't go bad after a week, do not eat it. And you will be 10 times healthier. Especially like cereals and any kind of wheat product and all the oats, all that stuff. Like, we're not even supposed to really eat that as humans. We didn't start eating it until like agriculture became a thing. Hot ass grease especial. George Foreman grill. I think I used one of those back in the day. I don't have one of those though. Sounds nice. I have a cast iron griddle. I use it every now and then. Yeah, it's cast iron, but it's big. It's huge. It's got 2 burners on it. I want to say it's like 3 foot by 1.5 feet, something like that. Maybe not quite that big. 2.5 feet maybe by 18 inches, maybe something like that. So you can do a lot on it. But I've never used anything like that. But any kind of griddle stuff I've always done inside. So it is kind of cool that you can do it outside. Like bacon, because you know when you cook bacon, like you smell it the whole rest of the day, sometimes the next day. So it will be nice to cook bacon outside. I like to get a little roof on my deck. I want to do that at some point. Yeah, and Marsh, I've seen those too. I thought about just picking up one of those, but she wanted to order it, so I was like, all right, if you want to order it, I'll do some cooking on it. We'll give it a go. Problem is we don't have a cover for it, so I got to keep taking it down the steps. I got like 10 steps to get down to the bottom of the deck. And then when I use it, the plug is up on the deck, so I got to carry it back up the steps until we get some kind of cover for it. The FDA is tripping for real, yeah. It's ridiculous. Later, dove season. Oh, you said you're leaving? Time to eat. All right, have a good one, man. I'm probably not going to be on here too much longer. I might come on later and do a coin roll hunt, though. If not today, maybe tomorrow. I vote for real meat, yeah. Bon appetit. John Camper, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. Any overpriced food or processed food, yeah, it's definitely bad for you. Faux show. That's the problem. They just want to process it and process it and process it so that it doesn't go bad. Well, all that stuff that they put in it is bad. They're killing us. And I can't really talk about it because last time I talked a bit about it, I got shadow banned. So I'm not going to talk about it no more. But it's all linked to other things. And I'll just let you guys put your mind to that. It's all linked. Things are done in a way to be able to do other things. I'm not going to say it because I got shadow banned after I talked about it in that last stream a couple streams ago. $34.44. Yeah, I haven't checked today. I wish it would come back down below 30 so I could buy some shot. That would be nice. Yeah, guys, feel free to drop any links that you want. I do not mind that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, I welcome it. If anybody wants their link dropped, if you're not a moderator, just say something and I'm sure a moderator will do it for you. I always talk about that dude. I'm not going to say his name, but I went into his stream when I had like 100 subscribers. And I really liked what he did, and I was trying to get him into my giveaway. And so I told him about my giveaway, and he was like, Capital Currency, we don't do that here. You can't come into my live stream trying to promote your channel. And I was like, okay. So from that day forward, I vowed I would never be that guy. So please feel free to drop any links you want to. Yeah, people get butt hurt. That's for sure. I just, I feel like it's better for one to be authentic and just be the best version you can be of yourself to help the community, So I would never be upset about somebody. I mean, even if came in here, now obviously if you came in here and you were like, hey, my buddy's doing a live stream right now, go check him out. I feel like that would be kind of rude. But, you got an auction going on tomorrow or you're doing something later, like I have no problem with that. And we all should be supporting each other anyway. Everybody should be trying to grow. And that's what it's always been about on this channel, trying to grow, as a community here and the community in general and you guys' community. I just wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I felt like I was that type of person. It's kind of like with the pouring, some people get mad that you show how to pour. But I don't know. I just think it's more important to talk about it and show it and let people see how it's done, get more people interested in it. But people that have been doing it for a while and then you come onto the scene and you're new, they look at it as you're trying to take away money from their selling their pours. But I try not to really look at it like that. And it's happened. It has happened to me. But I'm not going to get butthurt about things like that. I wouldn't be a very happy person if that's the type of dude I was. I put a pretty good amount of season on mine. Whenever I cook a steak or chicken or anything, I always put spices on it. And I'll tell you what one of my favorite spices is, Old Bay. I put Old Bay on everything. Chicken, meat, steak, it doesn't matter. I will put a little bit of Old Bay. Seafood, I'll smother it in Old Bay. But, that's a Maryland thing. Everybody uses Old Bay I'll put Old Bay on popcorn. I'll dump Old Bay out on a plate and just lick my finger and eat it like that. Like, I love it. It's so good. I mean, I don't really do that very often, but I will do it. It's not like I just sit down and just have some spice, But it just tastes that good. But trying to think of the other spice. There's a JO spice. There's a JO spice that's out, and it's for venison. So it's like a steak season, but it's really good on just regular steak too. But JO makes it. It's really good. And then there's another one that's like it's a state. It's called a state something. Some kind of state name. Omaha? No. That's Omaha Steaks. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. But that's a pretty good spice too. Sorcerer Stan, what's going on, bud? Hope you're having a good day. We got 22 likes. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't double tapped the screen, please feel free. I always appreciate that. Man, Sorcerer Stan, you had a lot of nice stuff the other day. I wish I had money to spend. That table looked very nice. A bunch of the Star Wars stuff, man. I used to pick up some of the Star Wars stuff. I think I sold it all now, but I don't think I had. I got a Beskar bar. That's the only thing. You know why? I still have a Beskar bar? Because I paid $70 for it, for a 1 ounce Beskar bar. Although I was looking it up, and somebody was selling one on eBay for $70 for the original. I think it was 2021. But I paid $70 for it because they sold out. Well, everybody was selling them for ridiculous prices back then. So I paid, I think, $72 for it because I really wanted one. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to get one, right? And I think that was a Big T's auction, actually. And so I got it. And then all of a sudden, they put more out. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then they put them out for like $35. I was like, you got to be kidding me right now. But I do see that they've went back up, some of the original ones. But yeah, I still have that just because I don't know if I'll ever get my money back for it. That'd be a pretty expensive one to melt. I don't think I'd ever do that. I do got a couple Chiwu Chian Wangs I'm probably going to melt down, though. And these are, I think these are like 20,000 or something. I'm not even sure. I don't remember. I got a couple of those I'm going to melt. Because I've tried to sell them. And they get passed on all the time. So I guess I'll melt them. I could probably make a little bit more off of them anyway. Actually, no. Because I was trying to sell them, I think, for... Well, no, the ones with the privy I was trying to sell for 65. I think those are more like 40. But I can melt them and get a little bit more than that doing a sand cast. When's the next pour? I'll definitely be pouring next Thursday. I actually got to end this in a minute. I didn't want to get started on some stuff and then have to leave you guys, but I didn't want to miss a Thursday pour day, so I figured I'd pop on at least just hang out with you guys for a little while. But like I said, I might come on either later tonight or tomorrow, maybe do a coin roll hunt or something. Kind of look around through some quarters. I still got like $50 in quarters, and I got a bunch of pennies. And I've been finding some pretty cool stuff. A couple die cracks and things like that. Found the first roll that I searched through, the first half a roll, I found 6 wheat cent. I still got to post that second part of that video in a short. But yeah, next Thursday I'll be pouring live. I'll definitely pour something. I'm trying to do some 3D prints right now, and my printer was acting goofy yesterday, so I wanted to redo it. So I'm trying to get back into that. And then hopefully that'll work out, and then I'll have a couple new pieces. Otherwise, it'll probably be something that I've already done in a live stream before. But I try to keep it fresh when I do these things, but every now and again, I kind of do the same thing. Like the praying hands, I'm up to 8 of those now. By the way, does anybody want a praying hands? Because I can do another one. I can do a 9 and a 10, or just a 9, whatever. But if anybody wants one, let me know, and I'll make sure I have that by the next auction. Yeah, that's cool. I started a whatnot, but I don't have a whole lot of followers over there. I tried to find people that I knew. So I'm kind of just starting out there, and I don't want to try to go on there and sell stuff because I see people start things at like $1 and go, and then they sell for like way less than they're worth. And I'm not trying to do all that. But yeah, check out Mama T's on Sundays. Sorcerer stands over there. And he had a lot of nice stuff, man. There's a lot of nice stuff over there. You got some cool stuff. There was a couple things I was like, man, if I had the money. If only I had the money. I didn't get to hang out there very long, but I was there when you were up. Get to have me some spicy meat. What the hell is going on? I swear there's a mouse over here. I hear it all the time. And as soon as I talk to it, it's like, I'm not here. It always stops when I look over there. It's so weird. There's not even a place that it could really be unless it's behind that little shelf. I don't know. Always mice in this thing. I have snakes in this thing sometimes too. Usually every spring, either there's a snake in the shed or getting out of the shed. I think I had one. I know there was at least one, or there was two of them that were trying to hibernate up in the attic of my shed. Why, I don't know, but I got both of those out and took them way far back in the woods. And then last year I had one behind the shed, and I was like, yeah, I'm not taking a chance. So I grabbed him, took him way back in the woods. I've had 2 babies in my basement. I actually kept those as pets for a little while. One of them was an asshole, and the other one was pretty cool. I could actually handle the other one. I got all buzzed up one day, had a couple shots, and I was like, man, I'm just going to get him out of the tank and just put him on my arm and see what happens. Because it's a black snake. It wasn't poisonous or anything. But, so as long as you didn't stick your hand in there to grab it, if you got it out with like some tongs or something like that, you could put him on you, and then he would just kind of keep trying to get away, but, you know, he wouldn't bite you. But I would catch mice, live mice. I would catch them and then feed them to him. I did that for like 6 months, and eventually, I did it for a year, because I think I waited till the next summer and then let him loose. Probably a bad idea to do that, but it was just a black rat snake. Got my shit poured and in the tumbler. Nice. I'm thinking about tumbling some copper. I use different shot for that. I have one that's set up for silver and one that's set up. I keep it in different things, and then whenever I go to use it, I'll get the put different stuff in it. But the thing is, like the top of that, my tumbler, I need to get a new top for it. You know that rubber piece that goes around? I feel like I'm gonna rip that off pretty soon. Like it's getting kind of not good. It's like almost kind of like getting a little bit dried out, I think. So I'm going to have to get another one of those. I don't know if you can just buy the rubber piece, or if you got to buy a whole top, or you got to buy the whole can. I don't know. But I need to look into that. Whatnot is a challenge if you don't have the right following. Yeah, that's what I figured. I see people selling low premium 1 ounce silver for $50. I can't even get melt. It's hard out here, man. Even on YouTube, I mean, it's hard. I put stuff up for like a minimum that I'm willing to take for it, and sometimes even that gets passed on. Every now and again, I'll start like a buck and go kind of thing, but I always get nervous with that, man, because I've done it a couple times and things sold for like less than they were worth, and I was losing money. And I don't mind giving people good deals, but I don't want to lose money at the same time, Sometimes it's okay. It just depends on what's happening. Like if I'm selling some pours and like people are battling over some pours and they're going for good money, then I might be more kind of willing to do stuff like that. And I do giveaways throughout the night all the time too, but so I'm always giving back regardless, but it is hard sometimes. But yeah, I hope your pours are coming out good, Cartier. I've had quite a few pours not turn out. I had to redo it. So I was showing everybody earlier. I got this Trump round or mold. And look how dumb this thing looks. 6 times I tried to do it. 6 times. I kept heating it up and using a torch. I think I'm gonna maybe put it in the oven at 500 degrees and just leave it in there for a while, or build an oven with my bricks, and then have the torches on it, and then open it up like right when I go to pour. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I've never had this happen this bad before, and it happened for 6 times in a row. I did that, and then I was like, well, I'm just gonna try it in copper, and the copper one actually did work good, and then the next one looked like crap again. So I don't know. It might just be one of those. I mean, at least I got a good copper one out of it. I might try to do a few more coppers. I don't know. I feel like silver is just not going to happen. Now that I've used it for copper, I kind of don't want to use it for silver. But, you know, I can clean it up. Pooh is kicking your ass again. Yeah, man, I've got some pieces that are really hard to do. I tried to do that crab that 7 Stacks got. She got the prototype, and I've been wanting to do a number 1. I think I need to do it in Petrobond. I think when I tried to do that one, though, I did it in... no, I did it in Petrobond, and I should have did it in Dove Clay. I just didn't have enough. Because that one I have to pour in from the side, and whenever I pour in from the side with Dove Clay, I lose a lot of Dove Clay, because it burns the crap out of more than it normally would. And then when you poke it through, the sprue, you know, pokes through, and then it pulls out all that extra sand. And I try to save what I can, but it's never that much. It's always, I always end up burning more than I would if I just did it the other way. But some pieces you have to do that way. But when I try to use it, man, that's why I'm pissed off about Petrobond, because it just keeps pulling out. I had like 4 or 5 different places pull out, and it's a flat piece on the bottom. I don't understand why. And I pressed on it and pressed on it. I was rolling it. I was hammering it. I was doing everything I could do to pack it down in there. But, yeah, it didn't work. I want to do those Statue of Liberties again, man. I haven't done those since... I poured those in 2021, I think. And I tried to do one in Dove Clay, but Dove Clay is too hard. I remember when I was doing it in Petrobond, it was really hard to get it to go halfway down. Because it's not like a bar. It's not something I can just lay down, put the flask over top of it, and pour the sand in, and then flip it and do the other side. It has to be, I have to do the sand first, and then press it into the sand to get it halfway down, and then put the sand on the other side. And stuff like that is really hard with Dove Clay. I've kind of figured it out a little bit, but man, Petrobond is, it's easier, but it doesn't hold. Maybe I need to get new Petrobond. That's probably the deal. The Petrobond I have is from like 2021 when I bought it. It's been sitting in an airtight container kind of thing, but I mean, maybe not airtight, but it has, you know, it's Tupperware, a big Tupperware bin thing, and it has a top for it. All right, sorry. Had to run out for a minute. Finger licking hot. Hey, you know what's a good hot sauce? Buffalo Wild Wings Asian Zing. I love that stuff. I put it on everything. Any kind of chicken. It's really good with any kind of chicken. I tried to do wings where you just buy the wings and then put the sauce on it yourself. And I cannot seem to make that work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But just putting the Asian Zing sauce on it and then putting it in the air fryer doesn't really work very well. It just tastes... All right, sorry guys, I had a phone call. Hopefully you guys are here still. The screen went black for a minute there. I don't know why this phone does that. You would think by iPhone 16 they would have all the glitches figured out, but not so much. Cam's gonna keep mad at us with all this bedroom talk. So what are y'all, an item? Is that what's happening? I'm all about people in the community coming together. Dang, I didn't realize I was kind of blushing. Fire happened in other places besides the grill. Uh-oh. She really doing the pillow talk now. We gonna get that fire going, boy. Come on, baby. Light my fire. 5 by 5. All right, thanks. Toss the wings after cooking. Yeah, that's what I do too. Is I'll smother it with more sauce, but it just has too much of like a chicken flavor. And like when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you get them, they taste great. I don't know how they do it, but I need to figure that out. And I've tried using different sauces and just making my own wings, but maybe I need to like soak them in the sauce overnight. That's probably what I should be doing instead of just, getting everything ready for the air fryer, putting them on, and then pasting them with sauce. That's how I do it. I probably should be soaking them in the sauce for a while, letting it marinate. But I feel like I'm wasting so much sauce by doing that. It's not the cheapest sauce. Then you got another one that's real hot, and it tastes good. I'm trying to think of what that is. Famous Dave's has a hot sauce that I like too. The Sticker Mule sauce is actually pretty good. I used to put that on my popcorn. I just got some stickers from them, some fuzzy stickers, and then I got a t-shirt. It's a white t-shirt, but I tend to like the black better. I didn't realize that the sale was for a white t-shirt. I even asked them, can I change that to black? They're like, no, that's not what the deal was. I was like, oh. I should have did the blue design then. Because the regular sticker design, it has black in it, and with the black shirt, I thought that was going to look really cool. And last time I made shirts, I did the blue design, which I do like, by the way. But yeah, man, I want some hot wings too. I love hot wings. My biscuits and gravy. Thought you locked the door. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of fun. You guys should do this every time you come in and just talk weird the whole time. I don't mean weird, but you know what I'm saying. In the brine, we soaked them. Yeah, I think they do need to be kind of sitting in something for a while for it to really take the flavor into the whole thing. What I like to use too a lot of times is it's a teriyaki marinade. I'm trying to remember who makes it. Baby something or something. Baby back? No. God, man, I got the worst memory in the world. Try to talk to you guys about things I don't know half the damn words I need to use. But it's pretty good. It's a teriyaki marinade. A lot of times I'll use that when I make, which I need to make some too. Should I make a video about that? I'm going to make some deer jerky. I got like a big ass bag full of deer meat that's like chopped up in little pieces. So I got to go through it and like really chop it up and try to get only good slices out of it because it was like all the extra pieces from the deer. and I probably need to go through it a little bit better. When I first got it, I went through it a little bit and tried to cut off all the crap I don't want on there, but I definitely got to doctor it up some more. And it's always like different size pieces. So when I do it in an air fryer, and so because you can dehydrate in the air fryer, and once I learned that, I was like, heck yeah, this is way better than the regular dehydrator I have. I got one of those cheap round ones. We know what you mean. Fireworks. That'd be kind of fun. Have a little food truck. Actually, you know what I was thinking about doing is getting a Mac Tools truck and selling tools. I think that'd be a fun gig. Because I think that they actually have customers that you go to. Like they kind of set you up to start out. And I think you own the truck eventually. That's good you got the ship done. Yeah, I might do some smoked ribs soon. It seems like I'm better at ribs than anything. The thing about ribs is like she likes it with just a rub. My daughter too. They don't like sauce on it. And I like sauce to be like caramelized on it. I like a good messy rib. And you can take sauce and put it on afterwards, but I like when it's cooked with it. But I also don't want to put that like in my smoker because it's an electric smoker and I really don't want to get it all nasty with barbecue sauce. The other smoker though, if I can get a new box for that other smoker, I might try that. What's something else that sounds good that you can smoke? And what's something that sounds good on the griddle other than like bacon and I wonder maybe I should try to do a steak on the griddle. Although I like steak on the grill. It's hard to beat steak on the grill. I used to cook it in a pan back in my 20s. And then I got a grill and I was like, "Oh, this is way better." But I put a pretty good amount of spices on my steaks. Sometimes they're a little too salty. I got to be careful. Salmon, that does sound good. You know what I do with salmon? I'll uh I'll put the salmon down, skin down, and then I'll put Old Bay on it. I'll chop up an onion, put onions all over the top. I'll put brown sugar all over it. Put more Old Bay on it. Put little pieces of butter all over the top of it, and then I'll even add some portobello mushrooms. And it's like in a pan, like in those little aluminum pans you can buy. I used to just make it out of aluminum foil, um, and then put it on the grill, and then pour a beer in the bottom of it, just enough to where it's like maybe a quarter inch. So by the time it's done cooking, the beer's gone, and then the skin sticks to the bottom, so that you don't eat the skin; it just sticks to the bottom of it. If you cook it right, you got to. If you use too much beer, it won't stick because it'll be still in the beer by the time it's done cooking. But man, it is so good. I did salmon like that. Somebody did it one time, and I was like, man. So I've always done it since. But now any kind of fish I cook that way. Brown sugar, Old Bay, onions, and mushrooms. So good. Man, I'm really getting hungry now. Shrimp on the barbie. I do love some shrimp. You don't be telling secrets. Uh-oh, we got a spy. Yeah, the skin isn't bad. The skin isn't bad. But I think I'm the only one that likes the skin. Like, I love chicken skin. There is nothing better than chicken skin. But and like a steak, man, I'll eat the fat in a steak. Love it. So good. Unless it's like real hard, kind of gristly stuff. I don't eat that. But I love a big old fatty steak. It's really easy to overcook shrimp. Like, man, when you cook shrimp, it's like a couple minutes and it's done. So many times I've overcooked shrimp. I think I finally got it figured out now. Shrimp is another thing. I'll steam it. And whenever I steam crabs or shrimp, I'll get a beer and pour beer in the water. I'll get a 6-pack when I do crabs and pour six. I'll do a gallon of water and then 6 beers, a bunch of Old Bay, a little bit of JO sometimes too, and apple cider vinegar. Steam them, and then as I put the crabs in, I put Old Bay all over the top of them. Man, you talk about a good crab. It doesn't get no better than that. Everybody that's ever eaten my crabs says it's the best crabs that they've had. I'm probably going to do, I don't know if I'll go live when I do that. It'll be crab season soon enough. But I might make a video. I've attempted to make videos before, but I always screwed something up and I never ended up posting it. But yeah, I'm a Maryland boy through and through. We love blue crabs and shrimp. Oh, is that what you were cooking when you got the butter burn? That sucks. I hate having a burn. I've heard some things. Nothing like a flaming hot shrimp. Yeah, I don't know what that word is either, Cardia. I don't know what you're saying. Obey is a good go-to, yeah, for sure. I put it on everything. Chickarone? Chickarone? Is that how you say that? I don't know what that is. Not as good as healing fast. Pork skins. Oh man, I do love some pork rinds. Oh yeah, the hot ones. Those are so good. The problem is like every time I eat stuff like that, it hurts the roof of my mouth. I must have like a sensitive roof of my mouth, man, because every time I eat, like I can't even eat like a sub that's toasted. It just tears the roof of my mouth up. Pork rinds do the same thing. Oh, okay. That's what it is. That sounds good. Good to eat his off daydreaming. chicken skin. Yeah, that does sound good. I don't think I've ever had that. I just mean like fried chicken. I know people that will take the skin off, and I'm like, what are you doing? I kind of like the skin on pretty much for everything. I love Mexican food too. Any kind of Mexican food. I even love Taco Bell. I know people tell you that's not Mexican food, but I love Taco Bell. My stomach doesn't love it, but it sure does taste good. But we've got there's a couple food trucks in Annapolis, man, that have like authentic Mexican food. It is so good. I love meat. There's a place down the street too that sells burritos that are pretty good. Or it's a place called Aztecs, and it's a food truck, but they bought the store up at the end of the street, so they got the food truck outside, but they also cook inside, and they make really good burritos. And then that place in Annapolis has really good burritos too. And then there's another Mexican restaurant right down the street that's pretty good, man. You can get pretty much a burrito anywhere around here, and it's going to be good. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know all that. I don't know if I've ever necessarily had pork belly either, to be honest. Unless that's what a pork rind is. I thought that was just the skin, but I don't know. Can't say that I ever had any of that. But I do love pork rinds. That and hot fries. Hot fries are pretty good too. But you know, anything you eat that's red is probably bad for you. Probably shouldn't be eating that stuff. Carnitas. That sounds good. I like chalupas too. The chalupas from Taco Bell are really good. Or the gaditas. That's what it is, I think. Right? I'm not sure what is what, but all of that stuff is so good. I mean, shoot, just a freaking soft taco is good. I love that. Remember the Mexican pizzas? They quit doing that for a while, but I heard they might have brought them back. I'm not sure. I used to love getting me one of those Mexican pizzas. Oh, we used to have Mexican pizzas in our high school. It was called a fiestada. And for some reason, those things were so good dipped in ketchup. I know that sounds gross, but man, it was good in high school. Oh, it's bacon on steroids? Is that the bacon that looks like real thick? Is that what it's made out of? Is that porqua? 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 I think I'm saying that right. Carnitas. Man, y'all make me really hungry. Like I haven't eaten nothing today. I only eat like every 24 hours. I only eat like in between like dinner and when I go to bed. So I can't eat for a little while. Actually, shoot, it's getting close. I'm gonna probably end this in a couple minutes at 4:30. But I usually don't eat till about 6. Between like 6 and 7. Yeah. It's better to overcook it than undercook it, that's for sure. They got a lot of worms. Yeah, it's like you got Spanish, and then man, what's the other one called? El Salvadorian. Like I think that they speak different. There's like probably there's like 3 or 4 different languages that sound Spanish. Because I used to deal with a lot of those guys that would come in buying construction supplies, and some of them you would try to speak Spanish to them, but some of the words do sound the same, but sometimes they wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about. Yeah, that makes sense, Kadita. Barbecue time. Oh, yeah. Do a barbecue live stream. Man, I'm just not really great at cooking. Like, I can cook some stuff. Barbecue isn't necessarily a good one. I can cook some steaks. I can cook some crabs. I do like to throw things in a smoker every now and again. And I guess barbecue is getting a pork butt. I mean, that's kind of. See, I don't think about that as being barbecue, though, because, like I said before, they don't ever like sauce on anything. I always have to put the sauce on afterwards. So even with the pulled pork, the sauce is always on the side. It's not like made into it, which I think makes it taste a lot better. But I'm not gonna sit there and do two different things. But yeah, I don't know. I might start getting out and using some of these things. Like I said, I do want to branch out and try to make different videos, different types of things. So you never know. We might do that one day. Spanish slang. I know Spanglish is a thing. Intruding the cheat. Yeah, I'm gonna probably get off here. I do appreciate you guys. It is 4:30. We got 24 likes. I appreciate that, guys. Like I said, maybe I'll pop on later or tomorrow or sometime during the weekend. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I want to get through some of these quarters and dimes I have, or quarters and pennies I have. And then I'm going to do videos when it comes to the bills. I got $10 bill search I'm going to do, a $20 bill search that I already did. I still need to post. And then I got $100 in ones. And I haven't been through any of it yet. Now what I do is I go through and I get all the kinks out. Like if it's got bent corners and stuff like that, I'll go through and kind of try to fix all the bills. But I try not to like look at it too hard. Although sometimes I will notice things. But I try to let it be. If I'm going to make a video, I want to be surprised when I find something. So I don't know if there's anything in any of that stuff, but hopefully there will be. But we won't know until we look. But I'll be making videos of that because, man, I did a $10 bill search in 2021, I think. And I still get views on that thing. I don't know what it is about a $10 bill search. Maybe there's not a lot of them out there, but I'm definitely going to be doing some more of the $10 bill searches. That might be my biggest viewed video. And like I said, when you look at like videos that are making a couple cents or a couple dollars, that's always up there. And it's one of my older ones, so it's kind of crazy. So you gotta put out content that the people like. So that's what I'm trying to do. And we'll be branching out doing weird stuff too, I'm sure. You never know. I might go for a bike ride and put the GoPro on. You never know. Like Northern say shopping cart and South say buggy. Oh yeah. Yeah, it does sound kind of ridiculous. I've never called anything a buggy. I would definitely call it a cart. Like the pop, they call it pop cans. Get me a pop. And like Ohio, they call it soda. They call it pop, which it is a soda pop. So I guess I can kind of see that. But I always thought it was weird when people would say pop. What's that other one that people say all the time? I don't know. There's one that people say all the time, and every time I hear it, I'm like, why? Why do you say that? I can't think of what it is now, but anyway. I think I'm supposed to be a Yankee. Damn Yankees. Yeah, Buggy does have a motor, that's for sure, Deneen. The legs are the motor in the South. Horse and buggy. That makes sense. But all right, guys, I'm going to get off here. We got 24 likes. If you didn't, before I get off, if you didn't double tap the screen, please feel free. It would be cool to hit 25 before I go. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Didn't get a whole lot done today, but hopefully I can get enough done for next Friday. We'll be having an auction, and it should be fun either way. And keep an eye out for some shorts. They'll be coming. Make sure you hit the like button for me. Leave a comment. I appreciate it. It kind of helps me in the algorithm. And I'll be posting some regular videos too. I'll definitely be live next Thursday, no matter what, pouring. And then probably do 1 or 2 in between that, just to kind of hang out and do some different things. So I do appreciate you guys. When you give me your time, it's always much appreciated. And I love hanging out with you anyway. So thank you for that. And I'll talk to you guys soon. So like I always say, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.